Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021. As usual, we are going to start with the economic calendar review. Data released overnight were not that much important. However, the GDP from the UK released at 8 o'clock is something completely different. For the third quarter, the GDP shrinked to the level of 1.1% quarter to quarter, which was worse than expectations of 1.3% and worse than 1.3% last reading of the second quarter. The current account in the UK is widening to minus 24.4%, and the business investment are shrinking to minus 2.5% quarter to quarter, which is again worse than expected number of 0.4% and worse than last time reading of 0.4%. So kind of a not really good data from the UK. We are still waiting for the ZWCS survey from the Switzerland, and that's about everything for the London session. During the New York session, we have the GDP release from the US scheduled at 2:30. This is the GDP for the third quarter, and it's supposed to be in line with the expectations of 2.1%. The S&P quarterly bulletin is scheduled for release at 3 o'clock, and the leading indicators from China are scheduled for release at 3 o'clock as well. The key event of today is the consumer confidence data from the US, scheduled for release at 4 p.m. It's expected to increase from 109.5 points to 111.1 point. For all of you crude oil traders, the crude oil inventories are scheduled for release 4:30. That's about it. Everything from the UK to the US through the Switzerland had been reviewed, and it doesn't look really busy. So let's not waste time and start to analyze the first market. We are going to start with the US dollar index. The US dollar index is going up, is climbing up since the lows of the May 2021, as you can see here. Recently we just finished 5 waves to the upside. We've been testing the technical support at 95.50, and recently made another rally towards 96.88, which is the high of the wave 5 and the high of this year 2021, and the bulls are still in charge of this market. They control it. Why? Because when you take a look at this great channel here, you can see that we broke below the short-term trend line, but we bounced right up from the channel. This looks very interesting. This is kind of a bullish engulfing pattern here. Then of course, as the Christmas period is coming towards us, the volatility is getting down, is drying down. So right now the last range, intraday range, is between 96.66 and 96.31, which is roughly 35 pips, so not that much at all. But the market is consolidating very closely to the recent highs and to the yearly highs on the US dollar index, so we might assume that this uptrend will be continued, especially if you take into the account the fact that the momentum is still positive. It's quite strong, around 60 points right now, so it's not bad, and the uptrend is being continued on the US dollar index. If the uptrend is being continued on the US dollar index, let's take a look how the euro dollar is doing. The euro dollar market is in a very narrow consolidation between 1.1237 and 1.1373, roughly 130, 140 pips of the consolidation, and it's been trading like this for the last 2 weeks. The momentum is negative and it stays below the level of 50. However, the overall trend remains down. As you can see here, we are still moving inside of this channel since the yearly highs around the level of 1.2352, and of course, if this level here, the key technical support, let me just point it out, 1.1167, 1.1153 is violated, then of course we might extend the drop even lower. This level here, the zone between these two levels, it's not very wide, it's only around 15-14 pips. It is the key long-term technical support or the key demand zone for bulls. So please keep an eye on this zone, because if there is any violation of the zone, then of course we can extend the drop very, very drastically. So please keep an eye on the zone. However, on the other side, we have 1.1373 immediate technical resistance, 1.1422 next technical resistance, and key short-term game-changing resistance 1.1501. So let's take a look at the British pound. Let's say British pound to Japanese yen. On the British pound to Japanese yen, we have a clear technical picture where we are just simply moving lower. Even when the bulls manage to break above the trend line, the black line here, then the move up is being capped. As you can see, big pin bar here, kind of a shooting star even, we can say, on a daily time frame chart. This is very, very important market behavior. We are moving down. Then there is a bounce. Of course, no new lows is being made, because the level of 147.91 and 149.02 is the key demand zone. So we cannot break below this zone, because then the downtrend will even accelerate. However, the bulls are still trying to break above this trend line, and of course above the key short-term technical resistance. Let me just put my blue arrow here, 152.58, 152.82. This is this technical resistance. This is the supply zone for the British pound to Japanese yen. Momentum is still below the level of 50. However, right now is testing the neutral line. So it after the breakout, if there is of course any breakout above 152.82, if there will be a breakout in the momentum as well above the level of 50, we can easily move higher and retrace more towards 155.18 or even 156.06. So that's the situation on the British pound to Japanese yen. And last but not least, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, as you can see, is testing the short-term trend line. The short-term trend line is, of course, the golden one, and the market recently broke above this trend line, and it's right now trading just above 48,766, which is the local technical support. Of course, we need to break higher in order to continue the up move, higher above 53,222. This is the key short-term technical resistance, and there is a blue trend line here as well. So please keep an eye on this blue trend line, because any breakout above this line is clear bullish signal, is indication of a termination of the down move, and the market would be ready to retrace even more. And the next targets, as you can see, are 57,750, 59,528, which is very close to $60,000. But I guess if we break above this orange trend line, blue trend line, and the technical resistance, we can go higher towards 64,768 before the end of the year. So please keep an eye on the Bitcoin as well, because it's in a very interesting place. And as you can see, the momentum is starting to move higher. It's still in the negative zone. However, it's 44 points. If we get to the 50, which is the neutral level, we might see the prices just below 53,228. So that's the setup for the Bitcoin. I guess it might be very quickly realized by the market participants. That's everything for me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys tomorrow. So take care and bye bye.